Welcome to day one of our 6-day training series. Over the next 6 weeks, Bulk Powders and I will be working together to deliver you guys a 6-day training program. This program will be designed for the beginner or for anyone who wants to change this up a little, as it won't be easy. We'll be focusing on muscle development and muscle endurance. Throughout this program, I'll cover a lot of tips that I use with my own training that you guys can use not just within this program, but with your own training as well. Once we finish the 6-day training series, we'll draw up a detailed training system and email it to you guys 100% for free. All you guys need to do to get on the email list is click on the link below to sign up to my free on and off season diet. If you're already on the list, stay updated by subscribing to us on YouTube and liking us on Facebook. To start off day one, we'll be smashing some legs. But first, I'll go get changed, have some pre-workout, and I'll see you guys soon. Alright, so the first exercise I always do leg extension. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to secrete as much blood as I possibly can into my quads, so before I go to the big compound movements. Like for every exercise, I always like to warm up first. So I'm just going to go up the same motion, down the same motions, up and down, just trying to get some blood flowing through my quads, trying to get my knees nice and warm, my hips nice and warm. I might do 15, 20 or so reps. Maybe 2 or 3 sets. Until I'm warm. And then we go into doing some harder training after that. So I just done my first warm up with my leg extension. All I did was 20 reps going up, going down, a bit of squeezing, a bit of stretching, just trying to get as much blood as I can through my legs before I go do my harder sets. Now what I do as a superset when I do this particular exercise is I do a lunge standing still on one stance. All I do is I go down in this position and I'm trying to have my front knee hyperextend in front of my toe. Now all I'm doing is kind of like a half lunge, keeping constant tension on my front leg. My back leg is stretching and my front leg is levering. So what I'm doing is I'm leaning over my front leg like this and I'm just constantly pulsing up and down. I go down and forward to get that stretch to the front part of my knee, and then I contract backwards. I might do 15, 20 reps on each leg. With leg extension, it's always really important to remember, when I'm doing the movement, I'm trying to hold my hands on the side. I'm trying to squeeze my glutes down the bench as hard as possibly can. Contracting my abs down, so that there's no leverage happening through my body. And the only thing that's working is my quads. With my toes, always making sure my toes are hyperextended forward, so that my quads are contracting. And with my back pad, like a little slight gap between my back and the pad. That enables me to sit down a little bit lower, so when I get contracted on the way up, I can get a squeeze at the top part of my quad. Second warm up, pushing up and down, and we're going to start some working sets. Squeezing at the top, stretching at the bottom. We're working at quads, so we want to keep tension within our quads. So the warm up is done, I'm feeling pretty good, my quads are nice and full of blood. So for the first working set, what we're going to do is going to pick a weight specific to you. Basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to do full range of motion. We're going to stretch at the bottom all the way down, we're going to contract all the way at the top, hold the squeeze, and use our quads to lever the weight down the negative. So the weight you want to choose is as heavy as you can go with keeping the best possible form. I believe in progressive overload, so when you fatigue, or when you start getting used to the weight, when it starts getting easy with that specific form, that's when you increase the weight. If you end up throwing weights around and you can't get the contraction, then you've gone too heavy. We're focusing on squeezing, focusing on levering on the negative, we're focusing on full range of motion. Toes up, the gap between your back, glutes down, drive up the quads, fasten the way up, squeeze, use that quads to lever the weight down. The harder you squeeze, the better it's going to be. Let's go. We're gonna superset with a pulsing lunge. My legs are on fire. Same thing. Knee levering in front of knee extending in front of the toe. Concentration on my VMO or my T drop, whatever you want to call it. And it's up and down for 15 or so reps. What you do for one leg, you gotta do for the other as well. So my left leg. I'm gonna try and do a couple sets of that, 3 or 4. See how we go. With the best form possible. All right, this is the second working set. This exercise burns like crazy. Sometimes it's good to chuck some headphones on and just push through the pain with some music. When it starts hurting, is when it starts working. This is the final set of leg extension. By now your legs should be full of blood, you should be hurting, you should be sore. The whole idea of this workout is to get as much energy into this workout as you possibly can and fatigue your legs as fast as you can. Remember, we're not trying to push to a limit or a rep. Our goal is to fatigue our legs as fast as we can. That's what we're trying to do. Man, it burns. Last few reps, if you can't squeeze, just push them as hard as you can. Alright, second exercise, I'll do some leg press. So for the second exercise, we've got leg press. Basically, we're going to go straight into working sets. I feel like my legs are pretty warm, they're pretty good. If you feel like you're not 100% as warm as you could be, which you should be by now, you might want to do a warm-up kind of set as well, just so you get used to the movement. I'm going to jump straight in some heavier weight. We're not doing massive weights today. Today's more focused on squeezing, more focused on levering, more focused on getting that form 100%, which means that the sets in between, the breaks in between each set can't be as long. So the whole workout today, we're going to try and get done in between 45 minutes and an hour. Basically with that foot stance, we're not trying to focus on putting them too high, too low. I just want you guys to put your feet where they're comfortable. These exercises, today's workout that we're formulated today is more based on tempo, not so much based on positioning of feet or movement. For the motion, we're going to slowly de-lock our knees and use our quads to lever the weight down to our chest, making sure your glutes don't round out the bottom. So always make sure you keep your body squeezed into the hole and you go down so far that your glutes do not round out. We're going down slow for about 4 seconds on the negative. And we're going to do a slight split second pause at the bottom, and then contract hard on the way up. 4 seconds down, 1 second up. This exercise, we'll do 5 sets, we'll do 20 reps per exercise. 20 reps per set. This is the last set, this is the 5th set. We're going to go again, aim for 20 more reps. I'm not going to increase weight this time. As for the 4th set, I was a struggle to get to 20. A real struggle. So it's the same thing, slow on the way down, slight pause, drive hard on the way up. I'm aiming for 20 reps. was hard. So for me, the weaker part of my quads, or the weaker part of the move for me is from the bottom, as my quads like at the top of my legs. So if you want, you can change the workout suited to you. If your weaker part of your legs is towards your knees or in your VMO, focus from the top of the motion going down slow. The weaker part of your legs is up near hip flexors, top of your quads. Focus on getting down nice and low, dropping the weight, and driving hard from the bottom, incorporating the top part of your legs first, as the first part of the contraction. So the third exercise, while leg press is full of weights from my previous exercise, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 sets of this. I'm gonna do a 100 rep drop set. I'm gonna aim for 100 reps. Basically all we do, you have to have a training partner with you. I'm gonna put on 9 plates, 10 plates on each side, and every single time I do 5 reps, my training partner's gonna take off 1 plate. There is no pause. All we do is we'll just keep going as many reps as we can, aim for 100. I'm gonna say 100 kilos. Someone, 70 or 80 kilos might start with, say 8 plates. So for the fourth exercise, which is the last exercise, what we're gonna do is a hack squat. Basically all we're doing is doing 20 reps in total. The first 10 reps what we're gonna be doing is duo squats. So basically, from the start of the squat, all we do is use our quads to lever the weight down to the bottom, use our quads to contract halfway up, quads lever all the way down to the bottom, and contract it right to the top. That's one exercise. So from the top to the bottom, back up to the middle, down to the bottom, all the way up. That's one rep. We're gonna do 10 of them. So for the last 10 reps, straight away, no pause, no break, we're gonna do another squat, but it's all the way down, halfway up. All the way down, halfway up. Which is a constant 10 squats in a row without pausing. So adds up to 20 reps. So for feet positioning, you're gonna just put your feet wherever they're comfortable. This exercise is more about tempo, not so much about positioning your feet. The entire workout's like that. When you start fatiguing, what's gonna happen is you're gonna wanna push onto your toes, and your glutes are gonna wanna round out. So when you feel it happening, you can feel your glutes coming off the bench. From the bottom of the movement, make sure you push your glutes back into the bench. The entire time, you wanna make sure your glutes, your shoulders and your back is against the bench. This is the fifth set. The quads are pretty pumped, my range of motion isn't real good. So I'm struggling now more to get deep than anything else. I'm just gonna push it out. I'm gonna get as low as I can, get as many reps as I can. I'm gonna go for 20 again. Here we go. Whereas remember, it's important from top of the motion down to lead with your quads, don't drop. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, once we finish this 6-day training series, we will draw up a detailed training program for you guys and email it to you 100% for free. All you need to do to get onto the email list is click on the link below and download my free on and off season diet. If you're already on the list, stay updated by subscribing to us on YouTube and liking us on Facebook. See you guys next week.